Hey guys, I wanted to share a few things and call out the elephant in the room, which is depression and anxiety and disappointment and insecurity that is an epidemic everywhere. And as many of you know, I lost my cousin a couple weeks ago. She took her life. She was the same age as me, and we grew up together. She was beautiful and wonderful and freaking super talented. And I realized, hey, it's not just my cousin. It's a lot of people, and it's some of your brothers, sisters, cousins, aunts, uncles, dads, moms. And it's increasing every day. It's increasing every year, the statistics for people who take their life. And you know, it's been really hard for our family, and thank you guys, all of you, for your comments and your prayers. It's meant so much, and it matters. I just wanted to talk about this now so that it's open and we are aware and we acknowledge the epidemic that's happening in the world and in our society, that there is a force greater than us that is stealing our attention, distracting us, and causing us to not be grateful and to not be thankful and to not see the beauty that we behold in our own life because of constantly comparing ourselves to other people. And I started thinking about, you know, what do we have to do? Like, how are we going to change this? Like, who's going to tell me to put my phone down? Who's going to tell me to stop watching CNN or Fox News and being stressed out by everything that's happening in the political realm? Me and God. That's it. Because I have complete access to anything I want. And so what I wanted to say was, we really hate this word that I'm about to say. It's like, I don't know why we hate it. We just hate it. And it's like, becomes almost dirty. And especially in our society, in America. It's a word called discipline. And I started looking into discipline. And no one likes discipline because it just reminds you of like set of rules and limitations, and like maybe someone in an unhealthy way like tried to operate, and control you with discipline when you were younger or something. I don't know. But I started realizing that discipline equals freedom in our life. And I started thinking about how every time I'm driving, if I see someone that's like jogging beside me, I have to look. And especially if I'm going up a hill, because I jog and like I know how hard it is. I mean, you jog too, I'm sure. You know how hard it is to jog a hill. Like it's hard. And you know that the closer you get to the top, like the pain intensifies. And I'm always super impressed and inspired by the person jogging, because I'm like, man, dang, like I know that hurts. Like, oh, they're in pain right now. Oh, I see them, they're struggling. Oh, they're doing it. They're pushing through, And something in me is like, oh man, like I just like respect them so much more. And I started thinking about that, and I'm like, you know what? That's exactly what's happening with us in society. See, discipline brings freedom. Discipline brings safety. It brings structure in your life. It brings peace. When I live in my self-freedom and I do whatever I want, because hey, I can do whatever I want, right? Like I live in America, and like this is the good life. Like I'm here for the good life. When I do whatever I want, I realize that I feel like I'm in chaos. I feel like I feel completely borderless, like I'm unprotected on every side. And I'm more stressed out because I'm now the judge of my life, and I could never amount to what I think or expect that I should be. I could never amount to that because I'm constantly comparing myself to everyone else that lives these glorious lives, from celebrities to whoever, all these stars, like, and people who are just like rolling in so much money and can travel the world and do all these things. And it completely overwhelms me and bombards me with, I'm not good enough. Like, who am I? Like, I'm not smart enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not talented enough. I could never do what they do. And all these lies start creeping in because I spend most of my time focusing on everyone else's lives and what I don't have. And what I'm realizing is that discipline, as we all know, brings freedom. Discipline equals freedom, because in discipline, when that girl or yourself is climbing that hill, the discipline there that's hurting, she is able to push through the pain to get to the top. From the top, you have a completely different perspective. You have a different view. And so the struggles and the trials in our life, the enemy, the things that try to keep us from reaching the top, they don't want us to get to the top, because from the top, we no longer see our circumstances as overwhelming and completely impossible. From the top, I see that, oh, I can do that. Oh, I've got that. Oh, that's smaller than I thought it was, right? And so I guess I just wanted to say to everyone who is experiencing, maybe as a millennial or older, whoever, you're feeling that expectation and that pressure from the outside world, and it's trying to conform you to something that you're not, but from every side, every place that we try to escape to, from our phones to Instagram and Facebook, we're constantly in a place of comparing ourselves and wanting more. What's so wrong with living simple? What's so wrong with having a nice car and a nice house and enjoying the people that you're around and love and God and relationship and the sunshine? We've made it so much more than it is, and I think if we really just were thankful for the air that we breathe and broke it down to be thankful for every little thing that we have covering, we have food, we have health, it would stop those voices in our head that tell us we're not enough, we're not smart enough, we're not pretty enough, we're never going to be successful. So I just want to encourage you that if that's you, if you're feeling stressed out, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling disappointed, I want you to know that you're not alone, that we're all in this together. We're all born into a war. It is a constant war, whether you like it or not. We are spirit and we are flesh. And the spirit and the flesh war against itself. Why do you think you don't want to go work out? What is that? You don't want to work out. It's that flesh, it's that laziness, it's that thing inside of us that doesn't want to experience any kind of pain or any kind of resistance to what is good. And so I would just implore all of us to seek out ways where we can discipline ourselves. No one is going to tell you to get off your phone. Other than if you're rude in a relationship, or like if you're like at coffee with someone, that's totally rude when you do that. But seriously, we have to create these boundaries and limits over ourselves, or we're literally going to be so depressed and disappointed in our life. Because one of the things that the Bible talks about is that when you compare yourself to one another, it's not wise. Why is that? It's because you're not supposed to have what they have. You're supposed to have what you have and be happy about it. And then it will probably happen to you if that's what you're supposed, if that's what you want. You know, you go after those things. But we have completely lost our contentment and our gratefulness for what we do have. And I feel like it is the biggest lie of the enemy to tell you that what you have isn't enough. So that was all kind of scattered. But let's please love one another, be grateful, and if you see someone that, let's say, is climbing the hill, but they're taking a long break and you can see that they're maybe not going to make it, that might be the cue for you to go help them and to encourage them. Because, you know, a lot of times, like I've mentioned this before, we get so stuck on our own trials and our own problems, our own crisis, that we are good for no one because we're so consumed and self-focused. But see, that's the exact thing that the enemy, the one that wants to destroy you, is trying to keep, because he doesn't want you to be helpful to anyone else. Okay? So anyway, that was a lot. But I love all of you, and there's going to be more coming, because I'm sure all of you know this, but I think there needs to be an awareness that comes and resonates with us and says, you know what, like, you're right, like, this is enough. And let's do it together. All right. Love you guys. There'll be more. Okay, bye.